Hey everyone! Today we're gonna bring you along and show you our favorite way to preserve apples in the fall. Every year we get some sort of bulk apples. The past couple of years we've been going to a local Mennonite stand. They set up a little market on Fridays, and we get at least like 100 pounds of apples to preserve in different ways. But this is our favorite way to do that. It's a favorite for adults and kids alike, and that is, what are they?
Apples!
Apple snacks! We call them apple snacks. We're going to dehydrate the apples, and we call them apple snacks. So it's super easy and doesn't take a whole lot of time. So we'll just bring you along and show you what we do. And I have this little box here that I've been waiting on using. They've been sitting here for a few weeks now, so they really got to be used. But these are nice organic apples, and we're gonna try to get all these into the dehydrator here. I just have a Nesco dehydrator. There's different types. This one works great for me, and it's I think the cheapest one that they have, but that's out there. There's an Excalibur on the market. I know that's a little more pricey, but still very affordable. And so this is a really fun project, and the kids, or at least Hannah's helped me before, and she loves it, and she's excited about it. So yeah, let's get started, and
Let's get started! Let's go!
we'll bring you along for the process, so we'll get started and get set up here.
Bye-bye, guys!
Okay, so the tool that makes this super easy, you don't need one. You could use a mandolin or just cut thinly with a knife, but I absolutely love this thing. This is from the Pampered Chef. I know there's probably other brands, but this one works really, really well. So it's an apple peeler, corer, and slicer. Yes, apple peeler, corer, slicer. So you just clamp it down. And if I can find a link to it. I don't know if they sell this one on Amazon or not, but if I do, I'll put it in the link below. So basically you just clamp it down like that. And we need to make sure that we're going to just do a quick wash on the apples. It is going to peel it, so it's not that big of a deal, but we still want to wash it a little bit anyway. Then I'm going to get a little bowl, and I'm going to juice some lemons in the bowl with a little bit of water. I'll show you. And then when I peel the apples, I'm going to stick them in the bowl so that they don't get brown while we're waiting to put them on the dehydrator. And it gives it a really nice nice flavor to the final product. So yeah, let me go get the lemons juiced and the apples washed, and then we'll continue. Just wanted to mention, you can find the written step-by-step instructions for this recipe on the blog handsandfeethomestead.com, and I will link it in the description box below. I just juiced 2 lemons in there, and then I just topped it with a little bit of water. Okay, so we are ready. Our apples are washed. Let's get to cranking here. Okay. We're ready to go here.
I want to eat one.
You're going to eat one?
Yeah.
How about that one? Okay. So there's a little lever here, a release that pulls it back. And then you can put that apple, and this can go down, and it holds down. So you can put this on. Of course, you're going to want to release that back up. Ready? Can you help me crank the first one? Ready? Crank it, crank it. Ready? Crank it, crank it. Ooh, and sometimes it goes in that. Sometimes it just kind of pulls through, and then you're left with a little bit of a chunk like that. And you can just go ahead and just slice the rest by hand if you want, or I just put all of the little pieces here. It's a nice thin piece ready for the dehydrator. So we just put it into the lemon water until we're ready to put it on the dehydrator. And then go like this, we push it on. Okay, then we're gonna go forward a little bit, get it ready. Ready, Selah? Let's crank it, ready? We're gonna...
I'm gonna help her.
You're gonna help too? Okay, ready? Let's all do it together. Crank, 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 crank.
You're doing it, Selah.
You're doing it, Selah! Whoa! Alright! Good job!
You're doing it.
Put it in the water. On the dehydrator so they're not like overlapping. If they are a little bit, it's not a big deal. Just go in and check it and they'll shrink down when they start dehydrating and just move them. So I have a whole stack of trays, so we'll see how much we can get filled up today. So strong. So strong. Oh yeah, 2 hands. There you go. Doing a good job, huh, Selah? Oh, you're doing it. Look, you're gonna do your whole apple. Oh, hold on. We're not done yet. Keep going. Oh, look at you're doing so good. Sister's doing so good. Doing it. Okay, so we're all finished. We have our whole dehydrator full of apple slices. I'm gonna go ahead and get them going. 135 degrees, and I'm gonna set it for about 8 hours, and then I'll go ahead and check them. And I'll, as it dries, they'll shrink down. So if you have a little overlapped right now, that's totally okay. They're gonna shrink down, and you can kind of like move them around to make sure that they're all drying evenly. So I'm going to set it for 8 hours, and then I'll check and see how they are doing. Our temperature to 135 degrees, and we're going to set our time. I'm going to do 8 hours and start. And A good thing to do is about halfway through, go through and like switch the trays. So move the bottom ones to the top and vice versa. Just kind of move them around so that it dries more evenly. So I used about 10 to 12 pounds of apples for this, and I have 12 dehydrator trays, and that was enough to fill that. So you can just keep that in mind when you're planning your amount that you're going to use. Okay, so these are the dehydrated apples. We've already eaten this much and then another container like that. But this is what they should look like when they're done. And they're a little bit bendy. They're not like going to be super hard, but yeah, that's what they're supposed to look like. What do you think, Hannah? They good? Yeah. Yeah, those are our favorite snack. So, alright. Now we are going to use the apple scraps to make apple cider vinegar, so don't throw those out. We'll show you what we do. I'll fill it about 3/4 of the way full. This is a gallon jar. You want to use a good filtered water for this. You don't want to use tap water because there's chlorine in it, and that will not allow the fermentation process to take place. So. I'm going to add a cup of sugar to the gallon. This is a 1/3 cup, that's what I'm doing. 3 of them. All of my measuring cups are dirty right now. So, do that, and then we can go ahead and stir it up. So I'm just gonna make sure it's not sticky sugar water on the outside here. Just wipe it down. So you can use a cloth to cover it. This is just an old shirt. I saved like the old cotton t-shirts and then cut them up for different uses. This makes it a really good straining cloth as well. So you just want it to make sure that you don't use like a cheesecloth that has bigger holes, because fruit flies will get in it and you definitely don't want that. So rubber band on it. So we're just going to go ahead and put this in a cool, dark place like your pantry, somewhere where you won't forget about it, because you need to go in.
The sugar smells really nice.
It does smell really nice. Because you need to remember to go in and give it a stir every day for at least 2 weeks or so. That way it will not have the risk of getting mold on top, which I've had happen before. I've made this before successfully one time, and then unsuccessfully a second time that I did it because I just forgot about it and I stopped stirring it and I let it sit there, and then it got moldy on top. So the good news is that you will know if it has gone bad. So yeah, so go ahead and put this in a cool, dark place for 4 to 6 weeks. Give it a good stir every day to get the fermentation process going and not have any mold form. Then after the 4 to 6 weeks is over, then you will just go ahead and strain the apples out, and that'll be kind of like an alcohol. You basically made like a hard cider, like an alcohol fermentation. So you want to strain the apples out, put that in a back in a jar that has a lid, and you can put a little bit of apple cider vinegar from like Bragg's or whatever apple cider vinegar you have on hand to help like start the process of turning it into an actual vinegar, going from alcohol to vinegar. So you're gonna strain out the apples, put it in the container, put a little shot of apple cider vinegar in with it, put the lid on, and then don't touch it. Anywhere between 2 to 4 months. The longer you go, the stronger vinegar taste it'll be. I think around like 3 to 4 months it'll taste more like vinegar that you buy at the store. It's a really easy process. It's a good way to use up your scraps that you would otherwise just throw out. So And there's so many uses for apple cider vinegar. We use it for so much in just daily use in your cooking and just on the homestead in general. So I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks for coming along with us today. We'll see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.